The example of Minneapolis has been troubling to both sides.
Yeah.
The left has used it to say ICE is out of control and the Trump administration is out of control. And the right is frustrated that by some accounts, we appear to have bent the knee there.
Yes.
In other words, Noam's out, Homan's in, now we're only focusing on the criminals. He says we're focused on the non-criminal illegals.
Yep.
I realize they've all committed crimes by coming here illegally.
Yep.
But my point is, the far right definitely, or the right, I think, wants all illegals gone.
Course.
And actually,
and
the polls show that the majority of the American people still want that.
Yes.
They want all of the illegals gone, not just the ones who have committed additional crimes upon getting here. And I think a lot of us are wondering, what is the plan for getting them? Because it seems that the left has effectively exercised its veto by its terrible behavior in Minneapolis, such to, Homan is very focused on getting the illegals out. All of the reforms he's announcing are with respect to getting the illegals who have committed additional crimes and notification of them before they leave the local jails, which would be great. That would be a compromise of sanctuary city policy there.
Yep.
We don't yet have an agreement on that in Minneapolis, which is the biggest area. Maybe we'll get it. But the point is simply, what about all the others?
Yeah. So I kind of like that our side is so insistent on this issue. I like the pressure. I like people saying, we recognize you've done a lot, now do more. I think that's kind of how this should work, is that fundamentally, the president and I and the entire administration, we work for the American people. And so I hear these complaints, I hear these criticisms. I guess I'd say a couple things. So first of all, again, you have an entire legal landscape, but also a deportation enforcement mechanism. All of these additional ICE officers that we brought in as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill. That's getting online now.
So they're not going to Minneapolis.
Well, some of them will. Some of them
Homan just
will.
announced a drawdown of 700 troops out there.
Homan announced a partial drawdown, but because the local authorities are cooperating with him. And this is why it's important to segregate, what are we talking about, immigration enforcement or everything else? We're not drawing down immigration enforcement. We're drawing down some of the federal officers that were helping the guys doing immigration enforcement. And this is what I think, frankly, the far left and also some of our guys on the right didn't fully appreciate. When Homan says we're drawing 700 people down, those are the people who were protecting the ICE officers as they went out and did deportations and immigration enforcement. Most of the people that we have in Minneapolis, they're not doing immigration enforcement. That's true even after the 700 drawdown. Most of them are protecting the immigration officers from the mob that's forming around them. So as we get more and more cooperation from Minneapolis and from the state of Minnesota, and we are starting to get real cooperation from them in a way that we haven't, we don't want people there doing effectively police work so that they can protect our immigration officers. We want the immigration officers to go and do their work, and if they get into a problem, they can call local police. As that happens, I think you're going to see some of that law enforcement shifting to the local police, which is exactly what we wanted. And by the way, well before the Preddy shooting or the Renee Good shooting, that's what we were asking. Because if you look, even in very blue places, like Memphis, Tennessee, or a number of other cities, you see the system working as it should. An immigration officer goes in, arrests an illegal alien, that person gets processed and deported. And if, God forbid, you have a mob forming, the ICE officers can call the local police and say, hey, these guys are threatening us, they're harassing us, they're maybe even assaulting us. The reason why Minneapolis was so chaotic is because we had to have all these extra officers doing the job the local police wouldn't do. If the local police are willing to step up a little bit, I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. And, I don't want to get into this talk of surrender because I know that we haven't surrendered, but if they're in Minnesota doing the very thing that they said they refused to do, I don't think that's a surrender on the part of the Trump administration, especially as we continue on immigration enforcement.
What about the secret option of E-Verify, where we go after the employers and we fine them if we find out that they're employing illegals?
Yep.
It seems there's been a reluctance to do that even by the Trump administration because there are a lot of employers who, let's face it, like employing cheap labor through illegal immigrants.
Yes. So I supported E-Verify legislation when I was in the Senate. It's been an issue. I actually campaigned on it when I ran for the Senate. It's funny, I've never talked to the president about E-Verify specifically, but it would require an act of Congress. And that is something that, look, I would like to believe that Congress would support E-Verify legislation. I frankly don't know that we have the people that would make it happen. But look, if Congress wants to do it, then they should do it. And then, of course, that would give us some additional immigration enforcement tools. We would love that. But fundamentally, that is something that Congress has to fix. We've done a lot, by the way. We've made it harder for employers to hire illegal aliens. We've made it harder for illegal aliens and, frankly, some legal visa holders to get access to the benefits that should go to American citizens. So there's a lot that we can do administratively. Certain things like fully verify, you do need Congress.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There is a never-ending list of reasons that gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.